Even some ever ha and you may Wubati be a sasso and a trotro for penny Edema NDC Chinia Amoyoko and a nay. What the other children will say, Bossa Wubasha won't to me, dear one Sakuran can you not dear when you say NDC for Bossa who do a washing na I do a bet me a year, no any year pa. Na Mampenita da Yura John Dramani Mahama and a dear what dear Tuga and yet. Promise back what the other shoe yasam kuto which them say. Motra Bama no bearman panise kunkro and your bar. Fertility center. Waba baby, a mammo, a mamma, any babu, 1 day straight one fertility center, 1 day straight one fertility center, and yasam kuto and smoon comodia, wabate 24-hour economy and what the gun of 1 year and tias and a mampanida that match them we and honky hono, and a dear when you bet them, and you are trying to boss yet 24-hour economy minimum come. And some our ha. Wubati biem na mampanida da yeba John Dramani Mahama kroya asande enkratoɔ akwa mampanina na roda kwa Akufo-Addo say when him say handling over note no wontworo no dia ntantam so a wontworo ntantam so a wontworo ni sesi anto san say eyedan ya akunya no wobesɔre afiri so yabekwa kasoa ne mpatam ene die yi a ene NDC fo ede wo manifesto abevra hosam wasini sanipa makomako enan abronsan ya dwuragu won so ama agye kura wobi anka bi wo nyina awuwu ya eno so nsam ewa ha obetene nwumre nsam no bebere no atwe ho ya bone beda chichi na kokowe ayese Ghana mamu Ghana manifesto no ye ba besane biagu aseda no eye Franco Trading Enterprise wo mo ane ade mo sanse adabra ka wo madoroma eno makofa phones papa laptops papa computers papa ade aba wunya bia beboa amadada mo setena mu enyoma nyina akoye air conditions ahodo wodi bia ba CCTV camera chira kromfo enkokwa ho nkoto kraman fa nkoto fie se kraman be watchman dabi kraman de obetimi watchman kama nanso unya CCTV camera no ebeboa ama bombo ho nsam atumye gina naso pampe enti wadama ko franko ho niam papa nto DBS Industries enso to awie bobo enti bomodin na ko honkwankwan chen koto yanum fodie ni bi mfie mienu na nia wan edan a wusi ye na no edan ya roofing sheet no wo hwa asedi 10 years enya papa ko DBS fo ho niam papa nto Joshua Kwame Kulenu wogina machi pampe Jagiri Buas Dr. Shine wo mu nyina ebom chido Mavis Malaika wano so sha wankon Africana da ma Facebook YouTube madam one man contractor me nana ade mununkum abuja enji bransem ni chiremu yanto yebo ase ye be yam no gomse ade amam meka chiro se de enfante baba meka se ebonim sanse mfimfin mantemene yekoho na nyasam keto akora na ena NDC chine yamanyokuom wo manifesto a wo hyase ebo ho dawro se enedua obepa ho ntoma obeka ye firi nro a ebe nyina anopai awie yama no bofo kofia gei ene abrapoku ahwene ede emu amanebo kakra ebrɛ na dwumadie no ahyase banimu a nwumre ya de mgidi se empanifo wo so kasa nyina kasa wie de aka nyina koye ntete ho ena empanifo gu so tete ho a na atitina ni adema NDC chine amanyoko Edward Johnson esi edun katia ena wonya kwanya wo kasa wo dwumadie na so no de atodwe kyerem se Ghana fo we de madawru mu wo se Ghana mampani na do ranko Akufo-Addo ede yakɔ hawo abebrese amani hunum nanso ni nyina magana fo mpa banya kropon ya domu a December bosom ne de to sonson ye nyina obi a wo kwa akotro ba no hwese wo to ma mampani dada yewra John Dramani Mahama sanse wo no pa ani ni pa wa ye biza obetimi yi Ghana frim kwasom mu.
Our policy of the 24-hour economy has been clearly stated in simple terms to enable everybody to understand and associate with, except those who intentionally refuse to understand. So are other policies that we are convinced will help create the egalitarian society that we all seek for our country, Ghana. We assure Ghanaians that this manifesto, which represents the People's Manifesto, provides a solid framework for building the Ghana we want together. We urge you to identify with our manifesto policy proposals and dedicate yourselves to voting for the NDC on December 7, 2024, to reset and build Ghana, to bring it back from the abyss into which the country has sunk. Let us join hands to reset and rebuild the Ghana we want together. Long live Ghana, long live the National Democratic Congress.
We titinani Adema NDC chiriamonyoko no wie yem eno de to aso kire mu se de wo kan nyina se bimpradua se wotumra no akire se kire mu se efrimpim mfimpim yenu ene dunso 2017 eba MPP aban ebaji egua chese ateti nko a eno de Ghana fo afamu.
Comrades, since 2017 Ghana has seen the most ignoble degeneration in all areas of our national life. Our economy has collapsed to the extent that we now have introduced new fanciful terms such as haircuts and domestic debt exchange into our economic management lexicon. For the first time in our history, pensioners who toil to serve our country and are entitled to a quiet retirement have had to picket at the Ministry of Finance to demand their hard-earned savings which they had invested in government bonds. The sight of these senior citizens on television painted a rather bizarre image of our beloved country to the international community. Our present government has introduced a plethora of taxes that have visited excruciating hardship and a debilitating impact on our living conditions. In this manifesto, the National Democratic Congress has provided Ghanaians with clear, actionable, and concise solutions born out of our social democratic ideals to address the many problems this country faces today.
Enya diamdi ka ni twi no no panin so ato no boase awesa na brofo no tino we no eno ano na wo wie yem ena Central Regional Chairman ewo NDC amanyokuo mu Professor Richard Kofi Asiedu enso de bitu aso ekire mu se wo mo de enkunya maako enso bi wo mfimfim mantem a waye wadwene sa afia bato ye ba beto de kia ne ke wo mbaji afrem PP fo nsem.
As I've had the occasion to say many times, we in the NDC in the region are working around the clock to secure 7 more parliamentary seats to bring to 20 the number of seats in the NDC in the central region. We are also working very hard to give President John Mahama a resounding victory in the region to enable him continue the good work he began before his sterling leadership and was abruptly truncated in 2016. We are confident that the manifesto we learned today will leave no one in doubt about the NDC's readiness to win this election and deliver a masterclass in governance for the benefit of all. I have 2 simple messages, one for the people of Central Region, one for the people of Central Region, and one for the good people of Ghana. To the people of Ghana, I say to you, Shewa Sitnim, Natohun Abapa. And to the good people of Central Region, my own people, I say to you, Azi Ofia Oye.
Enya no ano no wei titinani ewo NDC amanyokuo dimu mfimfin mantam yewra Richard Kofi Asiedu anodisem ena wuti yada so aginam ewo NDC ene emu ensensemu a na ene na nya asam ketoa ene adwumade no koso no na ebinom so enum kenke fase ene wo mo mbedi mfant chese ebi didi na bi tie manifesto a na nyina mu no ekokwara tepa na etwerofo pani edema NDC chinyamanyekuo yewura fifi koti wono so nya kwanya kasai no pani ne kasa enu akire mu se wo mo de hwe wo mo be omo ma bibia confuse wo mo se bibi pa be confuse wo mo se chese womo de hwe dabi wo kosoroba from womo nya confuse esanse bosha wahihye nyina ye bosha wo betumi ye diso manifesto awade abadi nyina ye manifesto ensem ewom wo betumi ye kire mu se he wo hyebo no antimi anu so a kire se wo nsem no wo kae no enya accurate ensisi so nti womo de watafre wabatwe se bibia antimi won bosha no wo di so dindindin.
We want to make a difference, and the difference we want to make is our promises and our policies are anchored on principles. And those principles represent the life of the promises that we make. So, if you saw over the 8 years that we were in power, what it is that we were able to deliver for our country, you must appreciate that it is because every single thing we said, even though we were not perfect, was anchored by sound principles. And those principles were anchored on the respect we have for our people. The need for us not to just tell our people anything because we want power, but tell them what it is that we can truly achieve. Now, so, in the 8 years that we were in office, these are some of the things that we left behind for our friends. Even though they came into office and the first thing they did was to tell the country that we left for them a country that was destroyed, a country that was in a mess. But truly, if you go through the record, you know that many governments would actually be happy to find the foundations that we left behind when we left office in 2016.
We a for penny Adema NDC Chiamonyukun, where we and at was which mu say, Wamu a manifesto, Wamode Abatrabantina, any name, a gun for a babatin home penton crab drinking winning in a and somewhere. Wamu no sabin pret diasat nasa to Wamboa de pen, a Troy and a Numa, Wamu air bayan in Yum between a year, and also which mu say.
What I want to just close today to say is that our manifesto that we are presenting to you today, just as we have done in the past, is a manifesto that will be delivering to you promises and policies that we know are achievable. The things that we cannot do, we will not talk about. But what it is that we can do, we will elaborate today in order for the country to know the clear difference between the NDC and the NPP. The final thing I will say before I sit down is that no government is perfect, so we accept that mistakes can be made. But what you do when you are in government is to show the humility, which humility means that when you are charting a path and there is a problem, you should have the capacity to acknowledge it and be able to receive the feedback so that corrections can be made. The manifesto we are presenting today is by no means going to be a perfect manifesto. But one thing we can promise you is the humility of the leadership, the humility of John Mahama, the humility of the people who are going to work with him to be able to say if there is a problem, we will be able to receive the necessary feedback and do the corrections in order to be able to deliver for the future.
We a for penny Adema NDC Chiamonyuko at Euro 50 40 and so anudisem and wuti na yemfiri wa that's why Jim and Ebofon de na mho apaso NDC asem na bentiane enu a ebia na manifesto no guso ekoso no kura wa nya kwanya entumi antie ni nyina bintiwe no de dika na edisa wote ne yato ye mboase a yesa bubum nkakra de ma wonom na yedaso aginam wabra mampani dada ye John Dramani Mahama ene wo manifesto opa ho ntoma dwumadie onya kwanya opanin kasa eno de to dwa ekirem se ade ba ko se esina nu so pa Ghana fo hu boboto abama no be mampani se kunkurun wo be ye ene se ene fertility center wo ba be biebie ene se obani fertility center say eno so munya botre Ghana fo de emutini se ya afene nkofo be dwo no nsensem bebre e wono akase be kirim ene so opani kirim no kirim na wo kirim se ye wo ma ene emema bebre wo ho asabi mpradua sam to da bia awo mu nsam ehun timi ya de ne papa bon se bi di hyefie bayie o maami o tifie no de hyehye no ehun keka hu bebre enti oba obesisi centers a wo yoba na awo ho nsam enhyada nkoyi a wo bekọ ho mpanimfo a doctor fo ho ya no bekasa kama ya ma woduro ya hwe kama no atumi a wo ya bema so a sa pepe wo se dwumadie anasa centers yi ba beboa ama wo sa tibia yi mu sa hawo mu hawo no eto atumi atwa.
We'll also contract a fertility center. There are a lot of mothers who cannot have children just because there's something wrong with the reproductive system. It can be corrected and they can have babies and enjoy the joy of motherhood. But currently, the prices that the private fertility hospitals charge are out of the range of most mothers. And so government will step in. We'll build a fertility center where mothers who want children can come for consultation and they will be giving the treatment so that they also can enjoy the joy of motherhood.
Enwa no atia no aso no ahu no we mampani dada Yewura John Dramani Mahama no wie ye wa mana so no kirem se sanitary pads enso ade bia de na koma so pa ene ye enkwada emma ekosuku ahodo yi ene obechiche bia mamu free.
We will provide free sanitary pads for girls. If you remember, Nana Jane started that policy with a World Bank facility
and they call that loan the PAD loan. Yes, we are proud of the PAD loan. It will allow our young girls who are going through their periods to be neat and hygienic and not to miss school, be able to go to school all year round.
We mampani dada yewra John Dramani Mahamana we ye wa menaso wa ene kasa wakan ne no waton boase ya cheche no mabibiri pa na ne policy ba ko ene wakofa ba ye Ghana Union Movement krase ne dia wa wi agum wose sa 24 hour economy na ye ne dia eno koda nchen Kofi Akpalu somehow no somehow ezo kora be kan say 24 hour economy no ne dia te say enkrofo bebre no na be kan na anu adakora na MPP for so namase wo boy Ghana for just ba ko mfamba na mampani dada yewra John Dramani Mahama to ne boase ya chirim wose sa 24 hour economy a wase wode ba enkrofo bi peso mo ye katashi patapa de famu police ni say yo mo dia ebi kora say enu ontumi nye ena choba for the ede no we 24 hour economy carpenter ni what the 24 hour economy ye den wetim se munya botre asem ni nie wase adwuma na ye ba kopende so nipa miensa ene beye entino we no 133 ni chese adwuma ba ko na so nipa miensa ene e ba beye ene so pani to boss na chirim sa 24 hour economy no eno an 133 na wase nie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 24-hour economy clock. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. 1, 3, 3. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. Obiabe Didi, Ezu, extraordinary problems require extraordinary solutions for extraordinary results. And so businesses and public organizations will be encouraged to operate 24/7 in 3 shifts of 8 hours each.
We mampani dada yewra John Dramani Mahama na wo wie ye ena woto aso echire mu se enye enwuma ni nyina na esa eba be sa 24 hour economy no a wo ka ho asem no ye wonwuma bi a woto ne bo ase bo so asa enwuma no ena 24 hour economy no wo mo ba be ye.
This will boost production, it will increase employment and provide well-paying jobs. It will transform Ghana into an import substitution and export-led country. It will increase employment opportunities and revenue, and it will enhance access to public services. We will focus on some selected public institutions that have huge customer traffic. For instance, the ports and harbors should be open 24/7. That means we have to employ more workers at the port. We have to employ more customs officers, more Gapoha workers, more forklift operators and all that. We need customs. Customs should work 24/7, 3 shifts, so that at any time your items come, customs at any time of the day is open for business. You can go and process your import things, papers, and take your things out of the port. We must have a passport office that is operating longer than 8 hours, so that people who need passports and other such documentation can have access to it. We must have a DVLA that is working more shifts than 1 shift, so that more people can get their licenses processed in a shorter time than the current waiting time.
Enti wenu uko DVLA fo se ukwa akwaje tumikrata e de kasanya enya fe ne ba kasa fatu ade asakwana bra da bi anopa de bekoye beye awia ahomache 24 hour economy ho ebe adwuma dendenden pa na mampani dada yewra John Dramani Mahama wa menaso wa ena we ankreta wie jinkratroi tawie jinkratroi we wotonkra enkra woto ade akwa mampani na nanu dan kwa kufuado se adabraka opanini hwe na se handling over note no wontro ya wonhyase ntro san se yeda ya December bosom ne de tosonson abatro ne nkwawie na wono mampani dada yewra John Dramani Mahama na Ghana fo nyina editumi no ahye ne nsem edistia na ahye ne nsem so womaje no mfa hyen no entro so enti mampani na nanu dan kwa kufuado se enkrata wo betwro na wodi agya no se wontro ya ahase atwro wie ye no to aso kire mu se enyo ba kumienu miese bi wo ho a ebetimi aboa pa ama Ghana economy na tumi agya na so nkanka agriculture ho nzenzam wose se ye bapa totunyo meye a eno manyina abekọ kamanism odi to dwanie.
The time is up for them to go. They have decimated our democracy beyond recognition. They've destroyed livelihoods and families and pushed millions of our people below the poverty line. Your vote on December 7th will end the tyranny. It will end the cronyism. It will end the corruption. It will end the hardship. It will also pave the way for the vision, experience, and trustworthiness. And I, John Dramani Mahama, is going to restore that to the Flagstaff House. As I've said before, this government must begin writing their handing over notes if they have not started doing so already. This MPP administration has been the biggest political scam that has been pulled on Ghanaians since our independence in 1957. They inherited an energy sector we had stabilized with the fastest mobilization of emergency power of almost 800 megawatts in the history of Ghana. We handed over to them 2 new oil-producing wells, the 10 field and the ENI Sankofa, which increased Ghana's oil production by more than 100,000 barrels per day, with additional gas of more than 200 million standard cubic feet per day. And this increased Ghana's oil revenues from petroleum by more than $500 million every year. Then, indeed, this has been the most favored government in our history. But alas, the Ghanaian people's favor, their goodwill, has been repaid with only pain and anguish. This government has received more revenue than all governments combined in the history of Ghana.
We Mampani Dada Yura John Dramani Mahama and one manifesto upon home to my Enfimfin Mantamu University of Education, Ebi Ena, Yapan Hodiamano, Yenyo, and some dear, Bebenua, no Moboroswana ente, Yabako Manoso, na Yane Yamadofua, a quarry, Aquadium Comosesu, Jumadian is a said dear, and Yabaria Yakra, Anasa, a handsome. To say, some at Senti, Yabu Homadin say, Yan Sabaka, Abela Pukua, na Yaneno, Edin Como, Bakumi, Miansa, Kamapa, Kamakama, Mianqua, Yan Abela Kudim Como, Abela, what do you mean come away?
Ah, Major Soade.
Na a pomba called ye.
Oh, Yamiado Papa, already will fine.
Bibia Bear fine, yeah, free, a soro, a bested, you know, na Jumediano said that Mary, Naso, na and Penifua, when it's on Becasing in Akasa, and Jumediana Bariana Senate.
Oh, Bibia Banavia, Omuria, Papa, yeah, there's a no cafe, a pot, and Penifua by Mantamina, Yamano Photo, and when you put by Yano, Donoa, and Sia, one more effort. Yaso Akawaha, and the life back, your better, and some who go Yaman Dada John Dramani Mahama, Yawu Pankadama, and this will get to Janua. Then this one, we are one share, we see some who by Bano, mining sector, what man is, you know, and it's a mobile babble, a bank, a babble share. Yannick, you back where Banos wants to miners association now, you are coming to Bra. Yeah, what that was Mano agent for the first time. I'm going to be unlocked in the manifesto. Yeah, we know Remua, one more Asano, manifesto, no, it will be on my gender, job creation, 24 hours, what the piano, not a fair, and in before a cup of beer, a fair one of me, you know, now for her, that the Omabo, one man, yeah, or Ministry, and then your Modeba, and your Mama, a year, a ma bank, you know, and also one a year, and the boot one, and one to make the war. If the other now the will say, manifesto Nana and Babeto Jano, one more at the one, that's a bit now. After saying now, what I was to say, now I will be a woman and before Edinburgh. Now, what's that? And someone will be so man, but that Mama, the teacher, a son of one more incident, there was just the first 100 days. The first 100 days, no, one more a day, no, not a drop, so a 2 hour more a day, a just no. These senior excuses, I would drop of the big one, so I'm the general, so. And say, be a model best chef, the one, a yen, and this one, and no, no academic fees, you know, and also no more asher and one in some account. A banu create Juma so, I won't send the Bristol, a Kriapo, one more Acadi or Modi Juma, and this study a banner system, what they ever saw, Maxine. sika bi a enyu fa ba bi a omo ebe tito na be kwa ko wie kina di sika ebe bo man ni mu e-levy covid levy ene eto ahodo bi akeka ho nyina no so no na ni so de hu se obeyi ensem a eto dwa no ene no edoso ye pa na ade sare ye wie ne no gidi si ye koye nim no ye befa eno sector by sector na ehun komodi ahodo ni nyina no atwa so si ade apotu ya kan ye die live band akopodi dia
abena wona na wo ho na bonbon ho nsem ate say watimi wakami bia ankoso
wo say enipa dodo nwa de ye de se obeka se wa wi ni nyina wo bra wanya sank nsemo tetenkete na ya so sem wo say auditorium no conference center no mu di djuma no anopa no ye menni parliamentary candidate a owo wini ba me fan se futu abaton petrus edi ko yura James anan Emma Nicholas we share auditorium na efa enipa bebro apem emia hanu over 1,500 na everybody ni staff here no edan mu ye ma enipa empintim legu abonten nti na bebre no a person mu wram nti mu ye masa na mo block gate ni nyina na gate ni makoma nsia o mu block gate na members no be form aba no na se abufutu ni ade nti ahwehwe no ebi mu papa ya hwe no krama so we ati kwampo no eno so di mo jasam kakra ba nipa na odi sa adwuma no se ye boa pa se tisan ye pe ya ne se asi na che se edom na negu abonten ni pressure na kwa hwehwe so no abanso ho no so ye se bebi saa na mi wram ye pian ni ade no nti ye part se eba na nipa dodo ade ye se ya aye meni god na pogan so the deputy communications officer the man NDC din komo na what say gate no ucha gate bia ne kala nti sa wo de wo card e chefe obetumi room ne ba obetumi anya green card as a band near dia bonsa e bi dia brown chefe colors ne makoma kunsia na che the six gate no nti ebi on ma the ekita no onim se bi o so fa gate 5 and so fa gate 4 and also so no ma the pinche kakra e ba ya o che se e ko nanim no o mo be hwe na uma communicate sani mani nyina de ma party man no hu say card de kita no na che gate a wo be ko nti no ban body anya wo hwe ba fa na ban befo gidi na omo wo ho na omo hwe atoto nya mama bibia ba nti no nyama tetekiti bi sori kakra na so ban befo wo ha say no hwe ma asuje esan so ba ya amfa how amfa asemboni bia ama ewa ha abe
abena moni adwuma eti ye na brafie why ene abena poku ahwene no wa ye adwuma papa ne oni kofia gei o mabo adwuma wo mpatam ho pa nti abena ye wiedi a ye na brafie na so beje wa ho bibi eno ano no yanto asoi na yenyina NDC hwa na fe ye wi a yentinsi ensemfufuru mu na mampani da yoro John Dramani Mahama wotu franka dia mandisi amanyoku enei ondwumadi a wodi ye wonya akwanya wakasa ene wokiremu se dwumadi ba kopa esine nuso dwumadi esine nuso pa ne se ya kwaye se bi mpradua sa wamo a wamotwe okada asenkafo ene wamo mekeka ho a wamadwuma na wamo ye no nhyeda nye aban adwuma na so wamo nyina ye adwuma wamadwuma wamo ye no eboa oman ne nkankro ene mpuntuo enso kwesa aban bia ba no yi nani dia momom aban bia ba no yi nani dia momom wo kirem se wono de wo pa Ghana for to abama no wo ba ade ba ko esi ni so money your pension scheme money your pension scheme wo ba ba ye ade ama wo mo adwuma no wo mo ye no enya ba adwuma na so adwuma no bua pa man nkankro ni mpuntuo na nsam no wode to dwa no sei eno kirem fai
and money your pension scheme so that persons in the informal sector who want to put something aside for their pension and their retirement can put 10 Ghana cedis a day, 5 Ghana cedis a week, 50 Ghana cedis a week. They will keep paying it so that when it gets to their turn for retirement, they have some money that they can rely on. We'll also, this pension scheme will cover commercial drivers and my dear Okada riders. They will also be part of the pension scheme. It will also be extended to small-scale miners, farmers, fishermen, traders, and market women. People who receive cash on daily basis. You put a little aside. If it's every week, you go and pay it into the money, or you can use your mobile phone and pay, and your account will keep being updated. So after 15 years, that money has been invested. When you are retiring, you have your pot of money so that you can be getting a pension every month in your old age.
Now, what we are not to associate mu say digitalization ho anka wono kono na dibo was it 2020 o nation manifesto nim kura kwade ba dende na so fofi anto atan wa dwade abamo Ghana fo anto abama ntwantimi amfa ma na so wenko de wo ba wode abafu code bi beba eno so no edemabunu nyina abekoso aboa mabunu no enka nkro ne wo musum puntuo atimi akwani manu so se no kire mu
digital jobs initiatives. We'll partner the private sector to invest $3 billion to leverage ICT for jobs. And this will be through the 1 million coders program. We announced this in 2020, and we didn't win power, so we couldn't implement it. Somebody lifted it from our 2020 manifesto and quickly put it out as if it was theirs. I said, go and look in 2020, you see that we had already put it there. But we will continue with our 1 million coders program to train 1 million people in coding and web development, software engineering, and others. We will stimulate demand for made in Ghana software. We are exporting a lot of hard currency. When we import goods, we know that we are sending foreign currency out to buy those goods. When we import food, we are sending money out to buy that food. But when we send money out to pay copyright to Microsoft, to Oracle, to all the people whose software we're running on our banks and all our online portals and all that, nobody sees it. And so if we are going to train 1 million coders to do software, web hosting and all that, we must create a demand for it locally. And so government will first see if we have the available software in-house before we allow anybody to buy software from outside.
We NDC Chinyamanyokuo wa manifesto na wa pa ho ntoma emu nkomodie bie ne ato yembo ase se wanya bie antie ana dwumadie ne koso na wo ye dwuma wantimi antibia emu nkomodie bi na yaponepone ho de mo yehwan mu se free dwade ko ene CJ Chief Jerry Forson watena se adwaso nsem dwumadie so a ene o metro mbo ase bie biem o mahene kwabena sante enso tenem Adom TV a ene o no mu bie biem kama asempa FM so ene obi wono so betenem ho asempa ekosi sei o so betro mbo ase bie biem eti se de ye to ye bo ase fa dwumadie nyina mamuo e ma botimi ti bie de ko ne de ba no e free dwade ko ye beto ye mbo ase na nsem no de edika de edisem panimfo e be ma ye mu nkyeremu ye nyina eno so ye de be ma miemfiri manifesto ho nsem wani ankwansem fufuro mu ne ya ne anim senkene NDC aban na ka tese ye bo ne pin no ene finfin mantem ho a wuto senya East abatwo mpasua so ene ya nte asem de ne nyina ne se aborosan bi a ene esi ho abansoro yibie ena nipa 4 carpenter ni ba ko ena nipa miensa eka no ho ene amuguso omoyi adwuma wei Kaswa new market hona me kan you kaswa new market ho ena chese wo muguso ya adwuma na kwasi na di coach recent ho santem bie ekire mu se enya concrete ho adwuma na mo ye dwomu ya ne so abrosan no second floor ho no chese adwiri abama abeku nipa enan ama me no kasa agye kura o mantumi anka bi over Facebook ni YouTube brai video no ningina African adawro mo twene nyina de agumya kwa homa no so Kofi Agyeim ene betimi ama ye ensam ni mu nkyeremu yie pa Kofi Madwe
adabezo
na manifesto ye chi na de asie nie
ngangane nanga obianu se manifesto anewum ana kaswa ye de ho abefolim kakra bi ama awewosem every bridge ana atu kaswa mai na adai uwepiem kaswa new market ono awojomes promote electoral area baby akọ kaswa new market baby omuto na nfie ni nyan no opposite uwam kọ na kakra ko anu kakra bia eho na vocational school bi honom na vocational school no ana je so omusi edan foforo awase ho a omudi ase na conference wo na so na rooms enti edan no omusi no ana obi nim de ko bai. And we are a dana plan, I said, 60 pillars. and no more frozen. And the flow of my frozen and no more say ACB at us. Now I know I don't know.
Kofi, a damn ding.
Correct. If you don't know what's in vocational school, Kalai, and my one a year, Jada community. Almost and Mamino as well as woman consume from a message for now. Or more flow down. As you acquire a Christmas, it's from war. And you cement there for Tibas Club, and Yania Boog was there. And they credit. Educated in I don't just a carpenter now, or if I was a mobile floor. The boy be almost go get now, was in a new. There's a captain. I knew not in South Biaco. It's a capino, she formed of a fan taboo with the aqua. You may say at Abu Zed, a fair flow. I can't want to move through long commodity than a season. A phone Jim.
Kofi Nabutaka. Nabutaka. Oman for Emra Facebook, YouTube now. Said ye Adiano, Esi Edra, a good from Sano, Net Kofi, Omotini who Nipano Yino, Mihasa dear, in Fonini Tia.
Look, I said, I day any moment me and Yamu, or my could do what 18. Hey, Messi for only a concrete. Or more, I was removed where you were obeying me and that. Messi for Bammy and that. Carpenter for Kaon. Yeah. And I go almost almost and yeah, I did good get Christian. A delivered also for and a man on a coincidence. A deliver 18 and then it's a guamoso. A deliver 18. Assembly, which is a 8 minutes assembly, MC, and the other will be that no prep and that will work with national by rescue mission for the town. Oh, on by some go farm, I see by over another day. Anybody is your winner there. Anybody I was as much as a 4 year. Amuko.
Oman for Emra Facebook ye Kofi mehusi ye ba Mr. Unya kukudra memma why na say ye nipa mobo it Kofi said ye 80 pena empanifo hu amu a emu nwotwe na awu
just see I'm here so one MP wa Honorable Anita Lombo, Anita, Honorable Jacob, Omunya with the Almusia, or make your preparation. Honorable Yamajuma,
Yo, Major.
I have to mention now to so far then I could see them, but no, almost the
Yo, yeah, that's it. That's how when you do them, it's safe in oh yeah, and the face. Yana machine to ya drinking. Yes, really, Juma. That's how yes, Juma. You see, your one, a million in theater. But waiting, ma, when you machine to oh yeah, we know that phone for no was out the map. And so why am I looking at I tell them no machine. Yeah, may I find. Yes, I do want to know. I will be worried for far while I say at the moment. Now, I know what I say. And you talk about the no adult. No, you're not. Now, you don't answer. Now, Mom, the meaning time you're there. You can't meet no while. What do you know? Study. Now, I show no time. Yeah, carpenter. Only got sure no power. In Ankete, but I was the winner to come to the hospital. But hospital, one and a million and say to them, they said about a new median waiting. And she said, more old and a penny. Oh, as an assembly, yeah, for her, in fact, in the Wednesday. Now, all I could say, Sunday. Yeah, and I'm not going to say, you bet you have done and Sunday, I declare it. Now, fire service, we open you know things on the bay office. I'm coming to move all the way. Mass plumbing for poor, engineers who are for her, physical planning work for her. Sabi. Mammy, working our warrior, and I'm to the arrow and farming. All the baby power for sure, software, and I say, you come a day you are, and I do know what to do, or you're not to them. Wait, Yami has more do that. Physical planning for her. No, yeah, I'm away with that. Come to now one body, and no one to Padina because I won't see some person. And your Padina, your duty, Obama, obese, there to there. You need not to go before you come for a permit from the assembly. If you make it a young, you know, you're just in hand with that.
Na drip machine on the banu bi no wakofa awode emunimuni broko na ni ade ade sela bia na bi wasia enti machine bi no me fen wa
eti kofi dan wura ya se bi mprediasa wa ya asode a eneyi de wakofa bani no aposifo nsa aka no wo sen
me look at the MC kan e bia jodai anoma to za no ze ma me na kasa o ya so no no ne ma ni student go ni na wi. Oh, no, what make us watch vocational school and one student for now, or the vocational school, the student for be animal concerns you. I did have a message for no more flow down so that I work woman. Not the book I get almost for all I'm trying to take out home.
Hey,
yeah, so to cast well. And some quite some cost of my men, I'm not going to stop where me are. Almost the same was crap or the second chief of the Nigeria for you movie, I want to take a platform. I'm not moving to Mumjane.
Kofi miana wasna yamfa wusi yansaka PRO edema Ghana National Fire Service ADO1 Alex Kenati ewa homa no so ye ne opani so nkodi ho nkomo sanse asemi ba ye wadi mu ntintiman pa okwaranza
ye jamba jo mi so
me pa so apomba ko de
nyame adum ye suma Ghana
minimu ase nipa du nwotwe a abeto dwase edan abuagu omusui wadawuru mo nsa ko mo nyina mprempren ya na
nti no sachi amu no tifu na ampa ye nyan nti yes edan school Richmond Vocational Institute ewo Kaswa Timber Market area ho omu school no na students ni ewo efom na story building omu sure na edan na bubugu ye nti no after the time edan bubugu ye no na students are no more honum present 11 na workers are no more ejuma no 6 na yenkofo no kodu honum no na ababe ejuma pa omutini ye ya yi bia fine e di omo hospital nti omo di omo nipa 12 na so far omo try cheche 6 di omo kodu hospital no doctors in treat omo no omo yi omo but 3 di nyame amwa omo hwe omo nkwa yenu ye imba mienu na bema baako imba no mintimi bo mu din on I want to give the family respect. Then no imba no baako di 16 years and baako di 18 years and bema no bi carpenter na oyi ejuma e wo honom na omo miensa na omo kan ye asa now nipa miensa o critical condition ye bomba say ye beti asempa say omo atomo
Openi me share Facebook and YouTube said ye video ni tia omanfo hwe ne said you hedan no adweregu edi machine kura na twetwam na de no we de wadawuru mu wa wo koye no we de wani bu ade pa na kofa ade yi ba ye
and you know bibi say on say investigations no they share a lot of things na their investigation because ebiana na me personal security ma ebiana na foundation no anya strong enough and omo ampe qualified auditor audit integrity of the building I should say ebiana no wa honden say betimi asesi asa atwa so you know that's what we don't know and maybe scrana na building materials no mu use no and any papa you know for now I don't want to jump the gun na e be say bona investigations no e thorough sana e dey ba na credible if I say so
wadawru mu nipa edan ye ne dia mokoye mutumi nya no ne kasai
inti ekodu na e botaya pan ni say ye bebo modin rescue no inti nipa na dan ye de yin hu no but investigation because no ye bebo modin reach out because na a vocational school a school na as a service no
they are not a high and I already say the over construction with this year. Now guys are training as a students no all vacation and as a moon around and now Hawaii you may see. Now you may be say out there abroad more on not just all the students no kwa at the actual risk and then I just say a moon you cry aqua a visual critical condition I won't say you better some pantino you are not here you better investigation you won't say negligence and I say would you for baby I know police force so every na actually no omo boy am I take
what you opening edan ya ka ho asemi edan ya nipa wo mu dada na say because said you see kase school for san ke makwan mo makwan sense mebre no edan ya enkwada wo mu agentity ya na say edan be pote
it's not uncompleted international no bi ewo mu ebi mo omo titi form into show na omo AC kese ema ebubugu ye no international so omo uncompleted the form no kese omo team
ayasemu wadi eba ni say ya afutuo ni nkyerɛkyerɛ afutuo bɛ na bɛba Ghana fo bibi say no
enti bibi say no we say investigations no I'm sure hold on 1 minute into investigations no eba say omo building permit one and I say omo beje permit or fire service for because in memo no answer now be the India especially commercial facility there no e just about fire service so now the building plant eba na ye measure na ye bring na you make your input na sure say dia oye no enya ade a bi nipa nkwa ebe di agro intini na na be investigate nti be sen go what say we ni mraso so ba be that for permit no drawings every fire service for you sure senka omo the brain I'm sure senka exit be and say means of different means of escape in case of emergency if any people journey afa you na no ka fire service be make input na recommendation say uti uti you say and I mean you say into no you be senko for say fire service o enye de bi nkwa ne eja edan bubugu nkofo isu ni na no fire service na ekọ ya ekoye djumi nti no yemi braso bi na for drawing fire service na once ne wo no
apani yebeda sina yede wasi bibia ni a wadaroma yebesa babio ayasemu we PRO edema Ghana National Fire Service ADO1 Alex Kenati ena yene no edi enkomo no yebekoso adi ani edi akire na de befiri mababia ya matifo aso atena ma menko YouTube na menkenka omanfo adwenkyire kakra me wi Facebook fo meba mo ho wan Facebook fo ene emse montworo ene do so pa so ene nyina mu me ba bekenkan Nadia edi abase NDC enyade a omo eba ban mu bio ode firi Zaragoza Spain ena ode eba ye oblite komi enso adiaba wase nokwasem ni NDC eni bibia bio ema ma kronkro Ghana wono so dia wode eba ye no ena edujamfi enso adiaba se wase David we die mintimi mfama no enka nana akosa enso ede aba wase NDC for manifesto no a womo ede ba ye no complaining nko a ena womo ebekenkan ye Ghana for pa yasemu Kofi Parliament hadiaba wase super weekend news Adom FM muni size kura adem nugum mituo dendende muni adwuma Kofi medas yo Samuel enso hadiaba wase wobia obehwe obrofo ni mu na ho ti mama ngoso ansa no mato bomb kome se pillar 2 enso de dia ba ose dome kwabenya bato mpasu aso no di efri bae wose NDC manifesto ni die wose hwi ni ono so dia wode bae no na mama ko Facebook so kakra nyesa ombeka se enemetwe omabo na we die wode baba na o respond to nkrofo saa no de eno so de eyesa menkan master planner junior kentampo ena wode aba wose adentina ex president Mahama egusuwa ha pesa osabe mampani bio enyade a ebetimi yebonti Ghana fu mama ne kwa montro ba Emma Dr. Ebawumia one so dia wode ebae no ya Evelyn enso e dia ba ose MPP Debbie ose NDC ene JDM wo mo ba denden de a fiabatro no mo a na wo mo edi nkunim Kofi Parliament de makan Eric Tete enso e dia ba wose JDM ba denden JDM se ba denden Bossman Boadu enso de aba JDM eno de akokɔ totototo ho eno so so yo Amankwa Daniel enso de aba wose there be we dem from anonka Maxwell Owusu enso de aba wose Ghana pa de still na yeda so wogidie ewo mampani dada John Dramani Mahama ene NDC mu bie wa na wonde ya simbusa na obusa Emmanuel Owusu enso de aba was greedy any selfishness enkoa ena omining penifon omo omining kankro ni mpuntuo de ensadamfo mo papa bia sa Steve Food food bay enso bay you juma wedi Ford na say me yi arno krafo kra di o asa se on my food emini akafra man say that e wonu so kase bonom e wotien denden dia enye asem ketwa kra mamenko ha somra na ebinma tutu birthday dia fa han kakra kra na comment sapela 2 ye udie no medican aboso dada ye na birthday na fa henefa na nakua mo aboaten aka Dr. Bawumia is breaking the 8 was say enchia kase no de ode kwama Owura George Reku Brobe deputy CEO Edema Ghana Gas Company or say Nyankopon Chiran papa na wonto ne nkwa enem yes Joshua Kwame Kulenu enso say onwa ne papa ne wofa na de nyina Mr. Boyson wachian papa panti Mr. Boyson wutie kase bona Joshua Kwame Kulenu se menton krayima happy birthday enko Emma Zakaria Mariam form 2 uko school ewo bosomtwe girls Nyankopon enhyira pa efiri wankasa wunia master plan junior ho na wose yemfoma wose Nyankopon enhyira na wonto wonkwane Mr. Kwadwo Amu ewo Ashoma wono soso kasebo no wonfani agro sabire nkwana pani wadane mpamutie kasebo den Franco Trading Enterprise asido asidan ye de mamo chese ope phones papa laptops papa computers papa CCTV camera enye ebetimi akira kronfo kama ama wampachoko ho na yema binto DBS Industries roofing sheet de papa efi eno ho Facebook ni YouTube ohumia African adawroma twa mitum den Joshua Kwame Kulenu ene boabo ansam na no ede ema me Jagri Boaz ebo ni chidom one man contractor enye mekwa huntini se said ye ne joyful ni na se ye kabom kinkan nusu kakrakrati Anita ono so chese hobo bubu chidom ni ade so blade ene me nku mini one man contractor me nana ade mununkum Kristo asumbi enkan nyina se ye nwu a eden ya ye besia bio memwajo
Ghana Fui Franco Esa the electrical appliances for Frabejaswo washing machines Ekan women yopo